He's Jason Kelce, the Eagles center, joining us on behalf of New Old Spice Beard Care Collection, helping guys achieve the soft, nourished, and sculpted beards of their dreams. He also wrote a poem. It's a book, The Old Spice Guys, Grooming Guide with guys for beards and other poems. Hi, Jason. How are you today?
Dan, how we doing?
Spectacular. How do you feel after yesterday?
Sore.
Where?
Very sore. Everywhere. It's part of the NFL, especially playing in the trenches. You know, it adds up. Especially, I think we had 89 plays yesterday, and the next day is always a little rough.
But okay, how would you describe it to us? Since we'll never play in an NFL game, and certainly you're playing offensive line.
So. It's not the same after every game. I'll say that. Usually the back of your neck feels like the muscles just are extremely fatigued. Your ankles and knees, the older you get, just start to have this achy feeling when you're trying to walk. And then, your hands and shoulders, obviously, as an offensive lineman, you're just punching with them over and over and over again. So, your fingers are hurting the day after, your shoulders right in front. I don't know if anybody's ever gotten into to do a bench press I'm trying to think of a regular everyday situation. When you get out of bed and you just get out of bed and go to the bathroom and it's completely normal. The day after getting out of bed is the first moment of when you realize just how much you put your body through. The first step you make gives you a good feeling for how the ankles feel, and then the moment you stand completely up tells you how your knees feel, and then once you start walking, it tells you what your hips are feeling like. And today, and obviously as I get older and as everybody gets older in the league, those aches and pains just continue to add up.
Can you tell the difference between Carson Wentz's hands and Nick Foles' hands under your butt?
Yes, absolutely. I can tell the difference between everybody's hands.
How?
I could be blindfolded. I'm pretty sure I could tell who was back there.
What's the difference between Wentz and Foles?
Foles has a very large hand, and he applies a lot of pressure. So I feel that, and it's very an intimidating feeling a little bit. Carson has a much softer hands, but they're very affirmative. I think that he's a very A-type personality, controlling type guy, which is an awesome attribute to have in a quarterback. But I think that his are almost back there where you can barely feel them, right? But as soon as you snap the ball, they're always in the right spot.
Do you ever feel sorry for a quarterback after fourth quarter 90-degree weather?
Oh, dude. Yeah, either fourth quarter 90-degree weather, even in practice, they'll come to me and they're like, dude, can you maybe change your pants for the second half of practice? Carson actually mentioned that last year in games. He was like, and this was early on in the season where it's still hot out, and he's like, dude, we might have to start getting you to change pants out at halftime. I mean, this is just getting out of control. I actually got a really funny story with Nick Foles after practice one day. He'd been taking under center snaps all game long, and he goes over to one of the coach's wives that we're really familiar with. She probably doesn't even know this story, but I'm not going to name drop her on, live. But she goes up and, oh, my God, so wonderful to see you, grabs Nick's hand and gives it a kiss right on the top of it. Oh. Yeah, so Nick said, I didn't even know what to do. I just let it happen because I didn't have enough time to stop it.
Oh, man. He's Jason Kelce, the Eagles center, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. What's a typical call for the center when you, because we don't hear you guys say anything.
Sure.
So what happens when the audible or whatever your call is?
Sure. So it's different in different offenses. Our offense, we work off of a point. And the point is specific to the play. So if we're running an inside zone play to the left, to the open side, meaning there's not a tight end there. The point is going to be the will linebacker. And dependent on the defense that we get, the combination call is the next call. So let's say 54 is the will linebacker in this formation. That's who we want the offensive line to start with. Then everybody else knows, who the Mike linebacker is now considered, who the Buck linebacker or the Sam linebacker is now considered. And it's all counting, right? So the left tackle knows he has the defensive end. Now my job is to set up, okay, are we going to double team the nose guard, or am I just going to let the left guard help the tackle with the end up to the linebacker? And that's determined on the down lineman's technique. And so once we figure out what that combination call is going to be, then everybody else makes their calls off of that call. If it's in the passing game, you're trying to find the most dangerous of the guys that can potentially blitz, understand, and this is why it's so crucial, in my opinion, for quarterbacks to know what's going on. Who's not going to be protected, who are you hot off of, and all of that is determined off of the point.
Give me a call. Give us a sample here in real time.
Oh, man, I don't like using our terms. I'm going to give you an old term that we used to use. Right. We used to use R and L for a combination on zone plays between the right guard and left guard. Right. Real complicating. I'm sure, as you've already figured out, L means left guard and center. R means right guard and center. And if it's an inside zone, an L to 54, like we were just talking about, would be a more vertical double team, try and smash the down lineman up to the linebacker. If it was an outside zone, it would be more like a scooping combination between the center and left guard.
Just call it. We're going to be confused no matter what, Jay. So all right. So I'm Wentz, and I'm calling out Blue 84, Blue 84. Yep. Now, are you saying anything then?
No, Blue 84 means nothing.
Oh, I know, but let's say I'm calling whatever he's calling. But when do you call out your signal, your line?
Oh, the line call happens way before he started the cadence.
Oh, okay.
So typically we get up to the line up. The defense presents how they're lining up. I make the call. Then Carson will start at least the first cadence. And then if maybe we're on a double cadence because we know that they're trying to disguise something or they're moving around.
Just make the call, Jason.
I know. Well, we make the call first.
Okay, here we go.
Sometimes you got to change the call.
Okay, but you're not. You're going to stay with this call. Damn, this was a bad idea to go with this line stuff. All right, go. All right,
so we come up to the ball.
Okay.
They're in a standard over front. L54. Then the right guard, right tackle say B to 50. And then Carson Wentz starts his Blue 84. Blue 84 said hot. And then we run inside zone. That's it.
Okay. I love the nuance. I love the nuance of that. We got your brother on tomorrow. When's the last time you fought him?
The last time I fought him was the first time he was able to beat me in basketball outside of our house, our hometown house in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. He was a sophomore at the time. I was a senior in high school. And he had finally become taller than me. And he kept doing this stupid hook shot over and he was draining it every single time. So, of course, being the older brother, I couldn't lose. I started fouling him. And then he started to lose and temper started to flare, yada, yada, yada. The next thing, we find ourselves in the kitchen, and we are in a full-blown fist fight. And up until that point, my little brother, every time I had punched him, it was the end of the fight. And we didn't get into, a lot of fist fights. I don't want to give that impression, but whenever I had punched him before, it was usually tears, walk away, it's over. This time I punch him, and he picks me up and slams me on the kitchen floor, knocks the oven off of the rack that it was actually sitting on. And we get to our feet, and we're in a full fist fight, and the only thing that stopped the fight was eventually I fell back on top of my dad, who grabbed me, and he's screaming, my ribs, my ribs. And then we both like, oh, Dad, you okay? You okay? And that was the end of the fight.
You got some poems that you've written for Old Spice. Do you have one or two that you can read?
I do. Yes.
Oh,
yes,
good.
This book is the book and all the products are available on Amazon.com exclusively. And I'll start with this first one right here.
Okay.
It's all about delivery. Knock, knock. Who's there? Your beard collection. My what? Where? Amazon. What do you think, Dan?
I'm soaking it in. I think I might go back to what's your line calls,
Okay. All right. Yep. The line calls were made more sense.
Yeah. Okay. Give me another poem. Here we go.
Okay. I'll give you another one. This one.
Okay.
The man I nourished, I was. I dreamt a dream about a beard with sheen. What could it mean? This dreamy dream? Was it about my beard with sheen? Probably.
All right. I like that one better.
What do you think?
I like that one
That
better.
one's better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that one
So
better.
not that bad.
No. I like the effort. All for the effort. Okay. Do you guys like being the underdogs again this year? Because it feels like the Los Angeles Rams are the media darlings. How did that happen? You guys are underdogs again.
Well, it's interesting because I think that you do like being the underdog, but in reality, we are the defending champions. And I think that when people come into the Philadelphia Eagles Stadium, when they come into the link, I don't think teams think of us as the underdog. I mean, bottom line is I think we're undefeated from last year to this year at Lincoln Financial. We still have a phenomenal team. So, I like to think of it like we're the top dogs, really. Maybe in the media's eyes, we're still the underdogs, but I think at the end of the day, we have a phenomenal team, a great coaching staff. We've more than earned the right to be respected in this league. And, I don't really think of it as quite the same as last year. But the motivation is still there, obviously.
Yeah, embrace the underdog role. It's all right. It certainly helped last year.
It worked last year, that's for sure.
I'd embrace it. Give me the website here with the new Old Spice beard care collection.
Sure. Yeah, the Old Spice Beard Care Collection is this is the first time Old Spice has done this, and it's available exclusively on Amazon.com. Or if you have the Amazon app, I would assume it's on that as well. But it's a pretty nice box. I wish I could show it to you. I mean, they just do it right. The packaging, everything, it's just lined up well. And, if you're looking for the beard of your dreams, a soft, nourished, sculpted beard, this is the product for you.
Thank you, Jason. It's good to visit with you, and good luck against the Titans next week.
Hey, Dan, thanks for having me.
All right, that's Jason Kelce.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.